Okay, so this is to give you some ideas for the Time to Design clock faces project. So what you can do for your clock faces. So here I've got an image of a Batman outline from the internet, and I've contoured it using the BITMAPS contour tool. I'm now going to use the bound fill tool to fill it in with red. We know that red is engrave and black is for cut. So when you fill in solid red, it's going to do something what we call raster. So if you make the inside lines red by going to the line color tool and change those red as well, and then don't forget to add a hole, so a 9mm diameter hole, 4.5mm radius in the center of your clock, like so. Then you can select all of this and you can burn this onto wood, which makes a really nice white pattern like that. So here's the rastering, the laser cutter moves back and forth very quickly, burning the image onto it like so. This one, I'm going to take two images. So I've got the Batman logo and I've got Gotham City. And I'm going to use the explode tool here to just remove anything, any debris in the image that I don't like. So I'm using the explode tool at the top there, and I can get rid of anything I don't want. I've used the BITMAPS contour tool again to outline the images. And I'm going to laser cut these out as two separate pieces of acrylic. So there's the Batman logo cutting out, black lines for cut, remember. So it's cutting out. And the great thing with this is I don't even need to use adhesive. The nut for the clock mechanism will hold the two pieces of acrylic together, and I've mounted it on a mirrored piece of acrylic behind as well. So that looks quite effective. For this one, I'm going to use a technique called decoupage. So I've printed off a Batman comic book and I've used spray mount, and I'm going to spray this and mount this to MDF 3mm, and I'm going to layer it on like so, making sure there's no bubbles in the image. The MDF is a bit bigger than I want to, so I'm going to sand it down on the belt sander. Make sure you're wearing safety glasses, hair tied back, ties tucked in. Sand it down to the line. I'm then going to use a pillar drill to drill a 9mm hole in the middle, and I've used, because it's a rectangle, I've used the corner to corner technique to find the center. I drill my hole and then I mount it to the clock mechanism like so, and you get a very effective image like that. For the next one, I'm going to use metal. So I want it to make it look really rustic. So I've got a rusty piece of steel sheets. It's a bit sort of dented, but that's the effect I want. I'm going to use the metal guillotine here to cut out the size that I want here. So be careful with your fingers. And this time I'm going to use the laser cutter to cut out a stencil from thin card like this of Batman. And I'm going to layer this onto my metal, and using masking tape and paper, I'm going to tape it all up, ready to spray. And I'm going to put it in the spray booth with black spray, very carefully peeling this off like so, and you're left with the image. And you can do this onto wood, you can do this onto any material using the stencil, but I wanted to make it look rustic with metal. And then obviously we've got to drill a hole in it, and we're left with quite a rustic looking sign. There's lots of different things you can do for the clock faces. So this one's reusing, for example, CDs and writing on them. You can use different types of materials like wood, mirrored, kind of acrylic, metal, anything like that. This one's layering up acrylic again. You can use adhesives to glue the acrylic on if needs be, so you can layer it on like that. We can burn onto wood, we can laser cut out of wood. You could make it multifunctional. So this particular one here is use the LED light kits from year 8 to make it light up like so, and you can line bend acrylic. You can change the base and be really creative with it. I'm looking forward to seeing your designs.